We had to figure out, how does this character fight? He's not a trained fighter and he doesn't feel pain. You know, if I get punched in the face, my face is going to move, but I'm not going to react. And kind of unlearning this very basic core principle of a fight scene was really it was one of the biggest challenges of the movie, to the point where it's ruined me for other things. Like, yes. I did a stunt sequence for the boys the other day, and I had to be reminded, like, hey, remember, you can feel pain.
Jack, thank you so much for taking your time with me today on the Movie Podcast.
Thank you, dude.
Hey, man, that was really wicked. Yeah.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for seeing it. I appreciate it.
This is such a fantastic film. You know, everything you've done, from like The Boys to My Adventures with Superman, you're so fantastic.
Oh, thank you, dude.
And killing it on the bongos in Oppenheimer definitely was probably the highlight, I think.
The highlight of my life, my career, my everything. Yes, of course.
Love that. I love that so much. You know, I'm sure you're going to get asked the question a lot about, you know, what would you do if you couldn't feel pain?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to put a little spin on it and say, if you woke up one day and you could no longer feel pain, what would be the pain you miss?
Ooh, the pain I miss. Interesting. Oh, God. That's a really, really good question. You know, because my answer to like what would you do if you couldn't feel pain usually is like, I would choose to not feel like certain emotional pain, because there's just been times.
That's deep.
Yeah. But then if you just couldn't feel any emotional pain, I bet you would miss that as well. Yeah. That's like it's a key part of the human experience a little bit, you know? I would say that, like, there's just been times in my life where I'm like, one time I was in North Carolina. I was like, it was before I was shooting the Hunger Games. It was like the day before. And I remember I'd been working out with a trainer, and one of the exercises we were doing, we had this medicine ball, like a weighted medicine ball, and you would take it, you'd slam it onto the ground, pick it back up and slam it again. And this was my first time working out without a trainer in a new gym. So I'm taking the medicine ball, I slammed it to the ground, and I didn't realize it bounced back up and it hit me right in the nose. And I fell, everyone saw I fell, my nose is bleeding, and I'm like, I'd rather erase the emotional pain of that moment, because I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed. And the next day on set, first day on set, really, ever, my nose is like ballooning. Nice. It's like way past its proportions. So yeah, first time I was ever like on set for a movie I was doing. I was like, okay.
What's a great way to start?
Nose injuries.
Great memory.
Yeah, great memory. Great memory. Core memory.
Core memory. You really got to like flex your action star muscles in this movie as well, especially as you kept getting better at fighting throughout the entire film, especially the glass knuckles.
The glass knuckles, yeah.
You know, growing up, watching a lot of action films, watching a lot of action superstars, what were your inspirations to kind of get into this?
Thank you. That's a really great question. It's funny with this movie, I feel like usually I use music as a source of inspiration, and this was no exception. Like I had my Nathan Kane playlist, and this is actually insane. I was able to get a song from that playlist into the movie. Like I remember on the final song of the movie, it's called Power Lines by this band called Telekinesis. And I remember on the day I was like, Dan and Bobby, like, I'm listening to the song right now. It just feels perfect for this moment. They listened to it and they're like, let's see if we can get the rights. And then they like called somebody and they're like, we got the rights. And that never happens. Like that never happens. And it was really cool that they allowed me to even do that. But anyway, back to movies. I use movies way more than I ever have in terms of like looking for inspiration, because yes, it's an action movie, and a lot of movies from the 80s, like action movies from the 80s, where it's character based, you know. You like the action, but you're also so invested with these characters and you like them and you want them to succeed. So that's hopefully what we're going for here. So yeah, Hard Boiled, this John Woo movie that's like very silly, but the action's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Obviously Die Hard, Lethal Weapon. But then, you know, I would contrast that with stuff like Secret Life of Walter Mitty, actually. Because I think that character is very much a person who's like, there's a deep sense of longing to him. He wants to live his life for the first time, which is very similar to Nate, you know. And also things like It's a Wonderful Life and Before Sunrise and True Romance, down to like Upgrade and, oh God. I watched a whole host of things, like a lot of early Steve Martin, you know, that deep sense of longing that he has. So yeah, it's just some combo of all that really, really helped me with this.
Love that. No, that's really good. You know, you talked about it yesterday as well at the Q&A, your relationship with Amber Midthunder. Your chemistry in the movie is so damn good.
Oh, thank you, man.
You guys meet so quickly and you click so well. What was like kind of building that, and do you have any fun moments from on set?
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I love the Before Sunrise and the True Romance movies, because those those movies are about two people falling in love very quickly over the course of like a day. And we definitely tried to bring that into it. We had a lot of rehearsals for those scenes in the beginning where it's just the two characters connecting at a diner. I rehearsed just as much for those as I did some of the action sequences, because we knew the movie didn't work if you didn't care about that relationship. Like, you want to root for Nate and Sherry because Nate's trying to save Sherry. So if you don't root for them, you don't have a movie. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that really worked. And Amber's just like, I've just been a fan ever since I saw Prey. I was like, this person is just incredible, just such a badass in her own right, and she's such a cool person too. We've become very genuinely great friends through this process, and I want to keep working with her forever. And I think all chemistry is just two people who are willing to listen to each other. And Amber's such a good listener. I'm trying my best at listening. And I loved rehearsing those scenes so much, because then when we got on set, we could just have fun. We already got the nuts and bolts down, and then we could just improvise and just have a genuinely great time. I did that on Plus One, a rom-com I did years back. We rehearsed
great movie.
The whole movie for weeks. Yeah, thank you. And then once we got on set, we were like, oh, we've already done it, essentially. Let's just have a blast.
I'll be saying that in this interview so far, you've been a great listener.
Oh, thank you.
Great listener, yeah. So
I say as I'm talking continuously.
Yes. I can tell the intention behind my questions is there.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
When working on this film, what would you say has been the craziest stunt that you've had to do? Because I know there's a collaboration, obviously, with the stunt performers as well.
Mm-hmm. We had an amazing stunt team on this movie. Hats off to Stanny, our head stunt coordinator, and also my stunt double Christo, who took all those like major hits where you're flying across a room. Like, so thank you, sir. No, it was really cool to work with them and kind of figure out, this is a character who can't feel pain. So that's such an essential part of a fight scene, is that reaction. It's a great way to get an audience on your side. It's a great way to sell a hit. Like if maybe the fake hit didn't connect, like if you sell it with your reaction, it can save it.
Oh, no, stop it. Fuck. Wow, that hurt. That one hurt the most.
So we didn't have that to rely on. We had to figure out, how does this character fight? He's not a trained fighter and he doesn't feel pain. If I get punched in the face, my face is going to move, but I'm not going to react. And kind of unlearning this very basic core principle of a fight scene was really it was one of the biggest challenges of the movie, to the point where it's ruined me for other things. Like, yes. I did a stunt sequence for the boys the other day, and I had to be reminded, like, hey, remember, you can feel pain. But it was a great amazing challenge. The other thing, sorry, I keep going on movies.
No, go ahead.
But the other thing I realized about halfway through was like, oh, this is kind of a Buster Keaton, not to get too hoity-toity about it, but Buster Keaton's whole deal was that he was called the Great Stoneface, like, so he didn't react to all the insanity happening around him. And once I kind of understood that as a potential vehicle for comedy, that really helped everything click.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
I never thought about that connection. Jack, before I wrap up, really quickly, I wanted to say that you're pretty much an honorary Canadian at this point. You shot so many projects, so many stories in Canada.
Thank you. That's such an honor.
And
thank you, Toronto. Notice how I said it.
Yes, the right way.
Didn't say it the wrong way.
We did teach also, your other boys castmates when I was in Mexico. I taught them how to say Toronto as well, and the Toronto slang.
Toronto. Yeah.
At least you haven't come into contact with the Toronto man's accent yet.
What's that?
What would that be? I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Toronto man?
What's like your favorite Toronto? How long? I mean, have you been there in a minute?
My whole life.
Okay. Yeah. What's like your favorite restaurant there?
Buddy Ali's.
Buddy Ali's.
Yeah, it's like right in downtown area.
Okay.
It's a pizza place.
Oh, really?
Pizzeria Buddy Ali's. You have to go there.
Buddy Ali's. Is it like near the downtown, like near the Rogers Center
area?
Oh, okay. I'm like around there this year.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But to get to the point, what I'm trying to say is that everyone that we told that we're talking to you, they're like, oh, he's the nicest guy ever.
Oh.
Nicest guy ever.
That's
like,
so sweet.
Perfect. That's a very Canadian trait.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I might be the only Canadian you talk to today, and you're probably missing back home now.
I'm missing home.
I got
Toronto.
some
What?
Canadian snacks.
Oh my God,
back
dude.
there, and
Thank you so much.
Please
Can I
enjoy them.
open
Yeah,
this
please go
up?
right ahead. Go ahead.
These are, oh my God, ketchup chips, dude.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot of great stuff.
Oh.
And all that if you need to.
Oh.
This is a new version of the all dressed. It's spicy. I don't know
that's
if you
good.
can handle your spice. But
This is. Oh, I can handle my spice. This is unbelievable, dude. Thank you so much.
no problem.
This is so nice of you.
no
to do.
problem.
Oh my God, this
we got
is so
obviously
cool.
you got Canadian Kit Kat in there too.
Please, oh no, let me demonstrate the rest.
Yes.
Of this thing. Sorry. Okay.
No. Oh, there's a lot in there.
Canadian Kit Kat. I actually don't. Oh, is that what makes a Kit Kat Canadian? Is the
Not just the chunky. There's two brands in there. There's the regular one too, and then the chunky.
What's
Nestle makes it in Canada, and Hershey's makes it in the United States, and it's a big difference in flavor. I recommend trying it. Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever had a Canadian Kit Kat. I was like, for a second, I was like, is it just because it says NHL on it?
I know they're all NHL.
It's like very Canadian.
Really prove that I'm from Canada.
Yeah. It's like the Tim Hortons variant of the Kit Kat. This is awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Oh no, man, it was a pleasure.
This means the world.
I appreciate that. And again, you're so fantastic. So we can't wait for everyone to see it.
Thank you, sir.
It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right, dude. I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of these. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is so cool.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man.